Sometimes you do not notice the exact moment trust breaks. There is no noise, no argument, no warning. Just a quiet realization that something you shared in confidence has returned to you sharpened and distorted. Words you offered openly become tools others use against you. You were taught that honesty means revealing everything, that being real requires constant openness. But the Stoics understood something far more precise. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Silence is not deception. It is discernment. It is wisdom protecting what matters. This is not about becoming cold or suspicious of everyone around you. It is about knowing what to share, with whom, and when the moment is truly earned. Epictetus warned that careless people will wound you with what you give them freely. What you reveal shapes how others see you, how they treat you, and how much power they hold over you. Today we will walk through 10 things you should never tell anyone about yourself, not to hide from connection, but to preserve control over your own life. One of these is so commonly ignored that revealing it gives others a clear path to influence and manipulate you without you even realizing it. If you have ever wished you could take words back after trusting the wrong person, this is where your protection begins. Thing number 1, your next moves before they are complete. This is where most people quietly sabotage themselves without realizing it. You feel a surge of excitement about a new plan, a business idea, a personal change, a bold direction. And before anything is built, before the work has even begun, you start talking. You explain the vision. You outline the future. You let others into something that is still fragile. The transcript makes this clear. The moment you announce your plans, something shifts inside you. The telling replaces the doing. The brain receives a reward too early. The approval, the interest, the reactions from others give a false sense of progress. You feel like you are moving forward when nothing has actually changed. And then come the opinions. Doubt disguised as concern. Advice you did not ask for. Judgment from people who have never built what you are trying to build. Even well-meaning comments can weaken momentum before it has a chance to harden. The Stoics valued action over speech for this exact reason. Marcus Aurelius warned against spending time talking about what a good man should be instead of becoming one. Applied here, do not announce what you will become someday. Become it first, quietly. Protect your early efforts like seedlings. They do not need footsteps around them yet. When you keep your plans private, you are forced to find satisfaction in progress, not praise. You build strength in silence. And when the results finally appear, they speak louder than any announcement ever could. Thing number 2, your income and financial details. This is one of the fastest ways relationships change without anyone admitting it out loud. You mention your salary casually, thinking it is just information, nothing serious. But the moment the number leaves your mouth, people begin to see you differently. The transcript shows this clearly. Money reshapes expectations silently. Some begin to resent you without knowing why. Others start assuming what you should pay for, what you should give, what you can afford. You stop being just a friend, a sibling, a colleague. You become a number in their head. And that number follows you into every future interaction. The Stoics understood how destructive this can be. Seneca warned that wealth, once visible, poisons relationships through comparison and entitlement. Your value as a person has nothing to do with your income, but once people know the figure, many cannot separate the two. Financial openness invites silent judgment, pressure, and obligation you never agreed to carry. That damage cannot be undone. The wise path is simple and quiet. Keep financial details private. Not out of shame or secrecy, but out of respect for peace. When asked, general answers are enough. I'm doing fine. I get by. Details belong only with those who truly need them. Your money is not community property. Protect it, and you protect the balance of your relationships. Thing number 3, your relationship problems. This is where many people create damage without meaning to. When emotions are high, you vent. You explain every frustration, every argument, every doubt to friends or family because you need relief. In the moment it feels harmless. It even feels necessary. But the transcript makes the cost clear. You move on. You forgive. You repair. Others do not. They only know the worst moments you shared. They never see the quiet apologies, the growth, the private healing. You live the whole story. They remember only the ugliest chapters. The Stoics were careful with this for a reason. Once you described your partner through anger or pain, that image sticks in the minds of those listening. It shapes how they treat that person forever. Marcus Aurelius chose to write his struggles privately instead of turning temporary problems into public records. Venting gives short relief, but it creates lasting judgment. Friends become silent critics. Family members carry resentment on your behalf long after you have let go. Over time, this poisons relationships that could have healed naturally. Relationship struggles are not meant for an audience. They are meant for reflection, honest conversation with the person involved, or professional guidance. Not everyone needs to know your private battles. Protect your relationship by being selective with your words. Some problems pass, but the opinions you create in others can last for years. Thing number 4, your deepest regrets and past mistakes. This is where vulnerability often turns into leverage. You open up about something you regret, a decision that still weighs on you, a failure that shaped you. In that moment, it feels honest, even healing. But the transcript shows the hidden danger clearly. Once spoken, that regret no longer belongs only to you. It lives in someone else's memory, ready to resurface when circumstances change. What was shared in trust can later be used as proof of weakness, poor judgment, or failure. Not always with cruelty, sometimes casually, sometimes quietly, but the damage is the same. The Stoics processed regret inwardly for this reason. Seneca warned against turning private pain into public material. Your past mistakes are lessons, not labels for others to attach to you. Confession does not automatically lead to healing. Often it only hands someone a reference point they can return to when it benefits them. True growth comes from reflection, not exposure. Journals, therapy, inner work, these are safe containers. Casual conversations are not. Before sharing a regret, ask yourself if this person has proven they will guard it even when things change. If there is any doubt, keep it private. Your past does not need witnesses to be resolved. Thing number 5, your biggest dreams and aspirations. This is where many people lose belief before they even begin. You share a dream because you want encouragement. You want reassurance. But what you often receive instead is caution, doubt, and practicality disguised as care. The transcript makes this painfully clear. Dreams are fragile in their early stages. They are ideas, not systems yet. When you expose them too soon, especially to people who have never taken risks themselves, they project their fears onto your vision. They point out why it is unrealistic, why it is risky, why it might fail. Slowly, their voice replaces your own. Your excitement weakens. Your certainty fades. The Stoics understood that inner ambitions require protection. Marcus Aurelius carried his philosophy quietly while managing immense responsibility. He did not seek approval for what he was becoming. He let time and action prove it. Your dreams do not need consensus. They need commitment. Share them only with those who have shown they can support growth beyond their own limits. Most people can only encourage paths they already understand. Keep your dreams private until they are strong enough to survive criticism. Not everything unfinished deserves commentary. Some visions need silence to survive long enough to become real. Thing number 6, your insecurities and deepest fears. This is one of the most dangerous things to hand over lightly. When you share what hurts you most, what you fear losing, what makes you feel small, you are giving someone a map to your inner world. In the transcript, this is shown clearly. What begins as closeness can later turn into control. In moments of conflict, people often reach for the sharpest tool available. If they know your fear, they know exactly where to strike. Not everyone does this on purpose, but intention does not reduce the damage. Once someone knows what destabilizes you, they hold power over your reactions. Epictetus spoke of protecting the inner citadel, the part of you that must remain untouched unless you choose otherwise. Your fears belong there. They are sacred, not casual conversation material. Sharing them widely does not make you brave. It makes you exposed. Process fear through reflection, discipline, or guidance from someone whose integrity has been proven over time. If there is any doubt about how this information could be used, keep it private. Your strength depends on guarding what can undo you. Thing number 7, your acts of kindness and generosity. This one is subtle and often misunderstood. You do something genuinely good for someone, no expectation, no audience. Later you mention it casually, thinking you are sharing something positive. But the moment you speak about it, the meaning changes. The transcript makes this clear. Kindness that is announced becomes kindness that is questioned. People begin to wonder why you mentioned it. Motives are inspected. Sincerity is doubted. What would have stood quietly as character turns into something that looks like performance. The Stoics were strict about this for a reason. Marcus Aurelius warned against seeking a second reward for doing good. If the act was truly good, it was already complete. When you talk about generosity, you risk turning virtue into self-promotion, even if that was never your intention. Worse, you may expose the private struggles of the person you helped, stripping them of dignity without meaning to. True kindness does not need witnesses. It does not need validation. It does not need a story afterward. Let your actions exist without explanation. If people discover your good deeds on their own, that is fine. But never be the narrator of your own virtue. Silence protects both your character and the people you help. Thing number 8, your long-term goals and strategies. This is where openness quietly turns into disadvantage. You explain your 5-year plan, your career path, your personal strategy in detail because you think clarity builds trust. But the transcript shows the risk clearly. Once someone knows exactly where you are headed and how you plan to get there, they can interfere, compete, or position themselves ahead of you without ever telling you. Even people who seem supportive may act in their own interest once they see the full map. Your strategy becomes information, and information is power. The Stoics lived in political environments where revealed plans often became defeated plans. They understood that progress should be visible, but strategy should remain hidden. When others know your timeline, your weaknesses, and your next step, you lose the element of surprise. Your patience is tested. Your position becomes vulnerable. Keep your long-term vision private. Share direction only when necessary, never the full blueprint. Saying I am focused on growth is enough. Results should reveal your strategy only after it is too late for anyone to interfere. Protect the path, not just the destination. Thing number 9, your unusual or controversial opinions. This is where one sentence can quietly rewrite how people see you forever. You share a thought that does not fit neatly into what others expect. You believe you are having an honest discussion, but the transcript shows what happens next. Nuance disappears. Complexity is ignored. That single opinion becomes your label. From that moment on, many stop seeing the full person in front of them and see only the idea that made them uncomfortable. Invitations change. Opportunities fade. Conversations become guarded. One comment becomes your entire identity in their minds. The Stoics understood this danger deeply. Marcus Aurelius held immense power yet kept many of his views private, not because he lacked conviction, but because he valued inner consistency over public approval. You do not need to broadcast every belief to prove you have one. Integrity does not require constant declaration. Most people are not listening to understand. They are listening to categorize. Share complex views only with those who have shown they can handle depth without reducing you to a stereotype. In public settings, silence or simplicity is often the wiser path. Your thoughts are yours. Not everyone deserves access to them. Thing number 10, your family's private struggles. This is the most overlooked and often the most damaging. You share a family member's hardship to explain yourself, to give context, to avoid awkward silence. It feels harmless in the moment, but the transcript shows the cost clearly. Once spoken, their pain no longer belongs only to them. It becomes public knowledge without their consent, and it cannot be taken back. Family struggles shared become trust broken quietly. Others begin to see your loved ones through their worst chapter, not their growth, not their effort, not their healing. Opportunities shift. Respect changes. Relationships cool without explanation, and the person affected never chose that exposure. The Stoics were firm on this boundary. Marcus Aurelius wrote about his own shortcomings, not the failures of others. He understood that discretion is respect. Your family's pain is not your story to tell. Not for sympathy, not for explanation, not for convenience. There are always other ways to speak about yourself without borrowing someone else's wounds. Protecting their privacy protects your bond with them. Once trust is broken in this way, it rarely returns fully. Silence here is not cold. It is loyalty. Strategic silence is not about shutting people out or living behind walls. It is about choosing carefully who earns access to your inner world. You have now seen the 10 things that require protection. Your next moves, your finances, your relationship struggles, your regrets, your dreams, your fears, your kindness, your strategies, your opinions, and your family's private pain. The Stoics never taught isolation. They taught discernment. Trust is not given all at once. It is built through time, consistency, and character. Not everyone who listens deserves to know everything. When you share less, you move with more strength. When you speak less, your actions carry more weight. Silence keeps your life steady, your direction clear, and your power where it belongs with you. Share deliberately. Guard what is fragile. Let results, integrity, and calm presence speak for you. That is how you stay wise, grounded, and protected. Stay stoic and build your stoic legacy.